What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Iceberg Slim, aka Coxadon, and you're here on JB TV Anime. Today, we got a Naruto What If. What if Naruto took Pain's Rennigan? How strong would he be? Who would he be? Would he even be a hero? Might be a villain. Today, we're going to be checking out this theory concept from the Amagi. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Shout out to you for this video. Let's get into it.
Nagato was once thought to be the child of prophecy. Jiraiya had been told that one day in his life he would have to train a child who would save the world. Bro didn't even know where to begin. Jiraiya didn't even know who this child was. So what do when you want to catch a specific fish and don't know where to look? You cast a wide net. This caught up many children, prodigies. And the funny thing about this is that Jiraiya only seemed to believe that these strong children could be the one from the prophecy. I mean, I can understand him believing Nagato to be the child. After all, little dude had the same eyes as the Sage of Six Paths and an obsession with claiming peace.
Pretty good
Who
point.
would ever guess that he'd become a terrorist? No, he even formed along with his friends a group dedicated to bringing peace. But eventually, Jiraiya believed it was Minato. Now, I'm not so sure why he thought it was Minato. I might have missed an episode or two in regards to that, but I assume it was just because Minato was strong. Jiraiya never would have believed it was Naruto, but alas, here we stand. The boy who didn't even know he had a tailed beast, let alone how to control it, has now gained a portion of power as well as confidence from every tailed beast.
Hey, let's talk about that for a second. This nigga Jiraiya, as soon as he met Naruto, was damn near just like, hey, scram. I'm busy studying. I'm doing research. You know what I'm talking about. He didn't give him a shot at all once he met him. But later things changed. She was crazy. And he's supposed to be his godfather, I believe. Crazy.
Essentially becoming what is a Ten-Tails Jinchuriki, but the fates of these characters are connected. So despite Jiraiya being wrong 2 out of 3 times, the one thing he did get right was facilitating the rise of the Child of Prophecy. Minato would in fact give birth to such a child, and it was Nagato whose attack and talk would eventually round Naruto out and reveal his position as the child spoken of by the sage. But a golden opportunity was missed, I think. Though I can understand why. An opportunity to see Naruto officially take up the mantle as the next Sage of Six Paths. In a world where everyone's trading eyes like baseball cards, one would think that Nagato, upon relinquishing his dreams to Naruto, would bequeath to him his Rinnegan on his deathbed. It just seems logical. If he's good enough to give your dreams, then give him your greatest tool as well. So for now, let's test this out and see what would have happened had Pain given Naruto his Rinnegan.
That shit would have been crazy.
There they stood, in the darkness of a tree made of paper. One of Conan's works. Naruto looked around in awe and then at Nagato, who was currently strapped into a kind of machine. Naruto had focused on this when he saw him, wondering at what appeared to be a work of puppetry. But at the same time, his attention had eventually turned solely to Pain as he explained his motivations. When Naruto had come here to face Nagato, he hadn't decided what he would do yet. Could he forgive Nagato for what he had done to the village? To Naruto's friends? All the death, the sacrifice, all the pain. Naruto actually doubted his ability to forgive him. But as he stepped through, he gave him the benefit of the doubt.
Hey,
Perhaps
a lot of
Nagato
people
could have a
died.
purpose. He wanted to know what drove Jiraiya's people down this path. And so, Nagato regaled him with the sorrowful story of his 2 greatest pains. The death of his parents and the death of Yahiko. As Naruto listened, he grew even more aware of the constant cycle of hatred and retribution. The ability to see clearly before him a member of a nation that the others might call the little guy. A small nation whose endless sacrifices had led the world to a precarious peace. A state in which humans found it near impossible to maintain. People just weren't aware. They looked inward only at themselves. The nations that could shoulder the war, the strong nations, saw it merely as strife. The small settlements and villages that had nowhere to hide, no way to fight, faced annihilation on a daily basis. For these nations and these people, war was the end of the world, their world. And so long as no one understood that pain, so long as nobody possessed an equal view of war, peace could not be attained. Peace should come through war, through pain. Shove war down their throats until they vomit it back up and renounce it altogether. This was Pain's design. But Naruto challenged this with Jiraiya's beliefs. beliefs that Pain could no longer subscribe to. But as Naruto continued on, speaking of his pain and how he would never let it change him, Nagato himself felt moved. Despite the pain that this boy before him had faced, he refused to change. He would never change, because if he did, he wouldn't be himself anymore.
Yeah, talk no jutsu, something else.
He would be a disgrace to the name that Pervy Sage had given him. And it was through this that Nagato recognized Naruto as someone who could change the world, as someone who could bring peace. And so, in a moment of remorse and a change of belief style, Nagato utilized the outer path to revive all of those who had died. Naruto was in awe that such an ability existed. Nagato strained, using up a considerable amount of chakra. His hair slowly began to bleach itself white. As the dead were revived, Nagato knew that his life would come to an end. However, he had one final thing to say. You, who will end the cycle, take hold of the cycle. Become the outer path for those who seek peace in a war-torn world. Become not a god of destruction, but a god of creation. My last request is this. Take upon yourself my eyes. Use them to their fullest potential and attain the peace you desire. When you do, I will see the world which you will bring upon us. This is my only request. And with that, Nagato perished. Naruto stood there speechless. Conan stood there and looked down for a moment before turning to him. Pain's final gift to you. His faith and a desire.
I'm not gonna lie. If Naruto actually got Pain's Rennigans, both of them, let alone one, is there even a war? What do y'all think? Do we even go to war? Is it even like a big deal anymore? Or does Naruto really just handle shit before it even like takes off? Because that's a crazy concept. If Naruto got Pain's Rennigan that early in the show, and I say early only because the war is so fucking long. Damn. Nobody's fucking with him. Sasuke better go sit his ass down somewhere too, because it's not close. It's not close anymore.
Desire to see the world the way you do. Will you take them? Naruto thought for a second. The concept of removing his own eyes only to transplant them for eyes that did not belong to him frightened him. But just as his own name was a gift from Jiraiya, the Rinnegan were a gift from Pain. They might be what Naruto needed to rival Sasuke's power, and they might also be what was needed to restore peace to the world. So, after a fair moment of deliberation, Naruto agreed. It was with the help of Conan that these eyes were transplanted. It could only be described as an excruciating experience, but Naruto trooped through to attain this gift. There was indeed a good bit of blood, but the healing chakra poured in to repair any damages caused by the process. They were as good as new. As soon as they were transplanted into his head, he felt a rush of power. It felt like, radiating from his eyes, there was a cool lightning going down to each part of his body and burning within his chakra. He felt a sudden flare of energy, and felt as if he could do anything, be anything. He felt like a god, and in a moment he saw himself. He saw himself sitting upon a throne. To his left was Sakura kissing his cheek, and to his right was Hinata doing the same. Before him
Bro got the Rennigan and just turned up. What the hell? This nigga started living life on the wild side. Bro said he got both of them with the help of the Rennigan. How that happened?
Stood all of the people of Konoha on their hands and knees worshipping him, chief of which before him was Sasuke kissing his feet. Naruto saw this not as a fantasy, but what he believed to be a possible future. He grunted and shook his head. No, not that. I don't want that. Well, a part of him did.
Sasuke kissing his feet.
For all of you.
If he didn't, he wouldn't have fantasized about it. But no, he did not need this. He wanted to save the world. He would not let himself be changed, just as he had told Nagato. He had sworn on his name not to become like Pain, and to instead become like the Sage of Six Paths, to find a way to bring peace. Conan looked to him after this outburst. Are you okay? She asked. He nodded. Yeah, it was nothing. Conan seemed a bit worried, but Nagato believed in this boy, and so too would she. She stood and wrapped up Nagato's body in paper and lifted it into the air. Where will you go now? Naruto asked. Back to Ame. There are things that need to be done. She presented him with a bouquet of paper roses. Naruto blushed and took them. As she turned to leave, she stopped and looked back at Naruto. Beware of Tobi. Pain was the face of the organization. Tobi made it into what it is today, and he'll come for you eventually. You're the one in control of the demonic statue of the Outer Path, as well as all tailed beasts sealed within it. You possess the single most important thing to his and Nagato's shared dream. he will throw everything he has at you to take it back. Naruto seemed startled by this. Instead, however, he nodded and remained composed. He proceeded to return to the village where he'd be met by his friends, including Sakura, who would recoil for a second upon seeing his eyes. He possessed the same eyes as the 6 paths of pain, so of course everyone would be on edge seeing them. However, Naruto would prove that he is who he said he is and would explain what happened. This results in Naruto being praised as a hero. From here, the repairs on the village began. Yamato was integral to this process due to his wood release and ability to create buildings. Sadly though, he underestimated how much power this would take, and in the end he realized that his body could not handle making more than a small batch of houses at a time, and that he had to do this for the entire village. Naruto is celebrated, but as this goes on, it's revealed that Tsunade has been left in a coma from the battle. Due to this, Danzo steps into the position of interim Hokage. Now, of course, the first thing he thinks about is those Rennigan. He wants them for himself, but he dare not take them, not from the hero the Leaf loves. And so for now, he's forced to trust Naruto. And even if he can't, a quick use of Kodo Amatsukami should be enough to keep Naruto in line. You see, Danzo, despite his heavily questionable morals, isn't stupid. He does at least see things through a clear glass, and he knows that Naruto's new eyes are what the enemy wants. To destroy them, he may need to lead them to confrontation, but to do so requires Naruto to be used as bait, which means that Naruto must be held in reserve. And so Naruto is put into a large house to rest, a fancy word for imprisonment. Naruto knows this and Danzo knows this, but neither of them are willing to admit to the masses or each other that it is what it is. This does not mean that Naruto is treated badly. Naruto gets anything and everything he could want, and his friends are allowed to visit him quite often. It's through this that Naruto learns that Sasuke has apparently killed Killer Bee and stripped him of the 8 Tails, which leads Sasuke to becoming an internationally wanted criminal. Naruto hates this and knows that a summit is being called in the Land of Iron. He hopes to go and beg for Sasuke's pardon. To that end, Yamato puts a track on Team Samui. Naruto then sneaks out of captivity with the help of Yamato and Kakashi, all while Konohamaru is left in his place to impersonate Naruto in hopes that nobody learns he's left. They travel to the Land of Iron where they meet with the Raikage. Naruto begs on his hands and knees for Sasuke's life, but A raises him back up rather forcefully, looking into his eyes. He mentions that this is not the behavior of one possessing the eyes of the Sage of 6 Paths.
He's gonna cry and got the Rennigan
with pride if he's ever to be respected, else he does a disservice to those dojutsu by prostrating himself before him. At the same time, A tells Naruto that he will not be dissuaded from his decision to kill Sasuke, and essentially tells Naruto that he's gonna have to suck it up and let it go.
Deal with it.
Would turn and continue on. Naruto stands there in the snow. Yamato looks to Naruto. "Are you okay?" Naruto smiles. "Fine." In his head, he's not fine. He sees everything that he and Sasuke have ever gone through. He acknowledges that Sasuke betrayed Konoha, but further he recognizes that Sasuke has his reasons, or so Naruto tells himself. He sees Sasuke as lost, merely someone who feels like they can't come home, not until they accomplish their goals. Sasuke may say he doesn't care about them anymore, but that doesn't mean he doesn't love them any longer. And in the end, Sasuke did throw himself in front of Naruto to save him from Haku's attack. He put everything on the line for Naruto. He was about to lose his dreams forever, not because of any conscious choice, but because of unconscious choice. Sasuke had stated that his body moved on its own, meaning that in the deepest part of who Sasuke was, he loved his team and his friends. And the concept that this same Sasuke was going to be hunted down and killed for a mistake he made while feeling lost ached. "What do I do?" he asked. He could try and beg more, but such a thing would only incur the wrath of the Raikage even more. Maybe he could kill the Raikage, but no, that would be wrong. It would start a war, and Naruto could not act so selfishly and take innocent lives just to save Sasuke. But what could he do? He could try and convince Sasuke to come home and give up on this poisonous dream. But in that moment, he was teleported back to the Valley of the End, to the point where he realized that Sasuke was willing to kill him for this dream. There was nothing he could do. Naruto saw Sakura's face and how much she cried upon learning that he had left. Naruto recalled swearing on his ninja way to bring back Sasuke, and now it seemed that the world and circumstance were about to make him a liar. He didn't even know if he could save Sasuke. Not from the world. Not when Sasuke didn't want to be saved. All of this compounded upon what he had gone through recently, all the way back to learning of Jiraiya's death, all the way back to attempting to save Gaara. It all stacked, and suddenly he felt his knees buckle. His heart was beating faster and faster, and he felt as if he was suffocating despite doing nothing but breathing. He gripped his chest as his body began to tingle. Suddenly, all strength left him and he fell on his face. Those nearby raced to save him. Naruto needed to be taken somewhere to rest. Thankfully, there was a town nearby, so they stopped there at a motel and decided to let Naruto sleep off his panic attack. And that's what he did. He rested to try and fight off the stress that was eating him up. Never before had he felt so helpless. As he sat there, consciousness returned to him, but not because he had awakened naturally. No, his eyes opened because there was a malevolent force in the room with him. Ah, Naruto, a voice came from behind. He sat up to see a spiral-masked man sitting on the windowsill. Naruto asked no questions. He merely watched. The man spoke. You should have remained in Konoha. At least then you would have had a chance. But then again, maybe it's best you left the village. After all, I would hate to mess it up a second time, just after it was fixed up, too. He stepped off the sill and walked towards Naruto, who was already on his feet, attempting to step back. Naruto would raise his hand and let loose a Shinra Tensei, blowing Tobi out of the house. As Naruto comes to the window, he sees Tobi caught in the exterior of one of the nearby buildings. He looks down to see Kakashi and Yamato, both who are looking up at him. They call out to Naruto and ask if he's okay. Naruto shouts back that he's fine. Looking up again, he sees Tobi is gone. Suddenly, Naruto is struck from behind and sent flying. He lands outside, and Kakashi and Yamato come to his aid. Yamato attempts to stop Tobi from getting any closer with wood release, but Tobi phases through it and continues attacking Naruto and the others. As the battle draws longer and none of their attacks are working, Kakashi, who's been watching with his own Mangekyo, discovers something when he tries to use Kamui, and that is that Tobi's ability is linked to space-time jutsu, and particularly Kakashi's Kamui dimension. It's then that they manage to force out Tobi and cause him to retreat once he recognizes that his ability's been discovered. This especially becomes the case when Sakura shows up with her team. Tobi leaves and everyone stops to ask Naruto if he's alright. Naruto says that he is, he's just a little rattled. He asks what Sakura is doing there, and she admits that she had come to kill Sasuke, and that she's freeing him from his promise he made to her so long ago, as if it were an answer to his prayers. No,
Right.
It wasn't. Even though he didn't know how to do it, he wouldn't give up on Sasuke. To try and entice him further, Sakura admits to loving Naruto. However, Naruto knows this is a ploy. She's lying to him, but looking deep into her eyes, he realizes that she's not just saying this for his sake.
We're gonna cut it there. This has been part 1 of what if Naruto took Pain's Rennigan. Definitely had to stop it before Sakura started spewing that bullshit, because we'll never forgive her for that. Hate when you fucking with a nigga's head, no matter what your reasons are. But hey, I think this concept is dope. I feel like Naruto with the Rennigan is crazy OP. Shout out again to the Amagi for even making this video. I know it took a lot of time and hard work, effort, lots of editing. I'm already knowing. But yeah, halfway through it, I'm fucking with everything I'm hearing for the most part. Surprising to think that Sasuke would kill Killer B on his own, especially when we see how that worked out for him in reality of the show, when he had friends. So that's interesting. That's an interesting turn of events. I do fuck with the sentiment of Pain giving Naruto his Rennigan, especially because he sees so much of himself in Naruto and entrusted his life to Naruto to be the one to lead the future into a new dawn. I get it. It honestly would make sense if he did give Naruto his Rennigan. It honestly would have made sense. Especially as we see people just popping eyes out like light bulbs so often. But yeah, let me know what y'all think down below in the comment section. If y'all think Naruto should have got the Rennigan, if y'all like the show better without Naruto getting the Rennigan, definitely not upset with that. Because I think if Naruto had that, Madara would have had to move around. It's not going to. We might not even need my guy to put hands on you like that, because it's getting closed off a lot sooner. But till next time, peace. We just vented.